Blizzards, Wild Weather by Lorraine Jean Hopping. Illustrated by Jody Wheeler. Wild Weather, Blizzards. Chapter 1, The Killer Blizzards of '88. The winters of 1886 and 1887 were scary. In the northern plains, cattle froze to death. Farmers nearly starved. But the next winter, the winter of 1888, was sheer terror. It began with mild, spring-like weather. On January 12th, children played outside without coats. Within hours, the mild weather took a shocking turn. School children in the Dakotas, now North and South Dakota, spotted the storm during recess. It raced toward them across the big prairie sky. One witness said the clouds were like big bales of cotton, each one bound tightly. These cotton bales soon covered the prairie like a dark, fluffy blanket, but this blanket did not bring comfort and warmth. It brought snow, biting wind, and freezing cold. A killer blizzard had hit. The storm marched into Nebraska. Teacher Minnie Freeman, age 18, acted fast. She herded her class into the schoolhouse, but the building was made of sod, not brick. The howling wind began to rip it apart. Minnie tied all 13 children together with twine. Then she led the class toward a sturdy wooden shack. The strong wind made walking almost impossible. The blowing snow blocked everything from sight. But the children made it to the shack. Minnie was a hero. Another teacher named Grace McCoy saved her class, too. She did it by burning every chair, every table, and every stick of wood. Then, with no fuel left, the temperature in the school dipped below freezing. After midnight, it seemed to me we would all die, Grace said. But a few hours later, an eerie quiet fell. The storm had ended. The children went home. Not everyone survived the blizzard of 1888. More than 500 people died. Then, just 2 months later, the same sad story began again. March 10, 1888 was the warmest day of the year in New York City. More fair weather tomorrow, said one forecast. A little colder with the chance of light snow, said another. Both forecasts were wrong. South of New York and Delaware, temperatures dropped. Rain turned into a wall of snow. The wind reached hurricane speed, 75 miles per hour. The anchor cables of ships snapped like worn guitar strings. 200 ships sank. The blizzard raced up the East Coast at 80 miles per hour, but no one could warn the people in its path. Telegraph and telephone lines were down, and carrier pigeons couldn't carry messages in the storm. That night, the blizzard slammed into New York City. The wind blew streetcars off their tracks. Snow fell like buckets of flour thrown from the rooftops, said Arthur Beer, who was in New York City during the storm. Albany, New York, had almost 4 feet of snow in one day. 400 people died in all. Both blizzards of 1888 are among the worst in history. Chapter 2. Snowing, blowing, and cold. A blizzard is not just a bad snowstorm. It's also a bad windstorm. Every blizzard has winds that blow 35 miles per hour or more. That's strong enough to make even big trees shake. A severe blizzard is one that has 45 mile per hour winds. Just staying on your feet is a major battle. Blizzard winds blow tons of snow into the air. The result is a whiteout. The sky, the ground, everything looks white. During a whiteout, people can't even see objects a few feet away. Some people have frozen to death just steps from their door. To be a blizzard, a storm needs more than just wind and snow. It also needs Arctic cold. Every blizzard feels like 20 degrees below zero or colder. Temperatures are in Fahrenheit. Wind chill is a measurement of how cold the air feels. Here's how wind chill works. The thermometer may read 10 degrees, that's cold, but the air feels even colder when the wind is blowing. That's why on wintry days people should stay out of the wind. A wind blowing 20 miles per hour makes 10 degrees feel like 24 degrees below zero. See chart. Brr. Wind chill information. Wind speed. When the wind blows. Temperature and the thermometer reads. Wind chill factor, then the temperature feels like. Wind chill effects. Wind chill factor, how cold it feels, the effects. Look, bare skin freezes in seconds. A low wind chill can freeze skin in minutes and turn it pale. Dead frozen skin is called frostbite. The fingers, toes, ears, and nose usually freeze first, but any bare skin is in danger of frostbite during a blizzard. In 1982, a 17-year-old rock climber named Hugh Hare tried to fight off frostbite. A storm trapped him and a friend on Mount Washington, New Hampshire. The mountains hold the record for the fastest wind in the United States, 231 miles per hour. Walking against the strong wind, Hugh and his friend grew tired. They knew that moving makes the blood flow and the body stay warm, but Hugh could not move another step. His legs began to turn numb. 3 days later, rescuers found the climbers. Hugh's friend recovered. He had never stopped moving, but Hugh lost both lower legs to frostbite. Later, he learned to climb again using special artificial legs. In time, he scaled tougher mountains than before the accident. 7 out of 10 blizzard victims die in cars stuck in the snow. The cause is hypothermia, or low body temperature. Normal bodies are 98.6 degrees. At just a few degrees cooler, the body starts to fail. The heart and lungs slow down. The brain gets confused. At 55 degrees, the victim may die. In 1997, Karen Nelson of North Dakota drove off course in a whiteout. Her truck got stuck in the snow. The gas gauge dipped too low and then empty. After 40 chilling hours, rescuers found Karen. Her body was blue with hypothermia, but doctors raised her body temperature just in time.